So everybody knows that the custom is after the race, the winner goes and burns his tires out, right? Sometimes they hit the wall or whatever. And so could they be wrecking the cars on purpose so that they can hide some, infractions, hide some things, because, the cars get inspected. They pick 5 cars at random, but the winner has to get sent to the Research and Development Center. Okay, that's what, it's rigorous inspection at the R&D Center as opposed to the inspection at the track. So the custom is after a race winner burns his tires out over on the front stretch, and undoubtedly fan favorite, drivers burn their tires and sometimes hit the wall. However, some think that they may be wrecking their cars to hide infractions. Radio communication between Denny Hamlin and crew chief Dave Rogers, quote, "He took the hot rod and just fenced it hard right in front of us," says crew chief Rogers. He continues saying, "Drove it straight into the fence. Be awfully hard to take that one." Hamlin replies, "No blank, sugar honey iced tea." Harvick claims that he doesn't know if he hit the wall or not. Okay, this is the fun stuff. Harvick, driver number 4, says, quote, "I don't even remember actually hitting the wall. I remember the tires blowing out, but I don't know if I actually hit the wall." He continues saying, sarcastically, "I guess I knew how to knock my car back into compliance by rubbing it up against the wall." And so it's quite common for drivers to wreck their cars after a race. Hamlin says, quote, "Nothing we do is without merit. We all know what we're doing. It's a tough balance because NASCAR wants you to celebrate, but as drivers, we know when a tire is about to blow, and sometimes we continue to put the throttle to it. And other times, if you want to save your car for a race coming up, you don't do that." Hamlin also says, "You don't want to discredit anyone's win because of what he did was really, really impressive. Obviously, as all the other competitors want to make sure they're on a level playing field with whoever did win." He also added that he would like to see the cars intact for the R&D Center. Source, fan-sided. Brad Keselowski admits at motorsports.com that drivers have damaged their cars to fool the inspection process. Keselowski says that, quote, "The cars aren't teched the same way at the track as they do at the R&D Center." He continues saying, "I've definitely blown tires out. I think every driver has done some kind of damage to their car." And then Denny Hamlin says, "NASCAR is really smart, and the teams are really smart, and they're constantly battling each other. It's always a game, and the game never stops from when you leave the shop until you get to that R&D Center." Well, in the end, Kevin Harvick's car did pass inspection number 647836. All right. Good stuff. So, all right, as mentioned, okay, so this week, okay, the car in the Chase Cup, Charlotte Motor Speedway, then it's Kansas, Talladega, Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix, and then Homestead. So counting this week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, counting this Saturday, 7 races left on the schedule. 8 weeks left for the Racing Podcast as we wind down for this year. The last race of the season is on the 22nd of November, which is Sunday, and the last Racing Podcast is November 26th. Normal protocol, and then we take a little break, and then Racing Podcast returns in February. So next year is actually going to be the 3rd year doing the Racing Podcast. A lot of other podcasts got chopped this week because there's a lot of stuff going on between this program. Also have a music station that I'm working on, which just changed names, which I got to tell you is now OK Radio, which used to be Community Radio. I had to change the name because I think a lot of people thought Community Radio was like, talk, but it's actually music, so it's now OK Radio. Search word life3survive.com is OKRUSA. And it's rock and country, old rock and roll, not like hardcore rock, but it's rock and roll, 50s like stuff, and mixed it with some country music. So it's OK Radio, live365.com, search word OK, OKRUSA. So now we got one talk podcast, which is this one. And that's going to be it. It's going to work out better because now I can focus more on this podcast and really go with the gusto. So there you go. But so next year will be year number 3 for this radio program, and we run from February through November. So good stuff. And this is my favorite. I look forward to Thursday night. I do. It's fun over here. All right, so let's get into the one more time this week's racing schedule, and then we're out of here. All right, good stuff. So let's get to it, shall we? All right. Friday evening is this weekend's NASCAR Xfinity Series event, Friday, October the 9th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and that's on NBC, SN, and PRN, and that's the Drive for the Cure 300, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, North Carolina, 200 lap schedule. Then on Sunday, week 1 of the Contender Round, week 4 of the Chase, Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, not Sunday, Saturday. And last year at this time is when Tony Stewart backed his car into Brad Keselowski. And I talk to some people that know a lot about racing, because I like to talk to people that know more than me, because that's how you learn stuff. Tony Stewart has a reputation of being a hothead, but Brad Keselowski has a reputation to be a little punk. That's what through the grapevine, and sometimes he ruffles the feathers of the veteran drivers. And but I actually missed that race last year when I was so mad. But I did see Tony Stewart back his car into Brad Keselowski's car. So we might see some duking it out a little bit as the season winds down. So Saturday, October the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern on NBC and PRN, and that is the Bank of America 500, 334 laps scheduled. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got your weekend set up. I'm ready. Racing is fun. Last Sunday's race was excellent. That was an awesome race. I love Dover, and you had the fun at Dover. And you had drivers getting eliminated, and it was just a fun race, man. From start to finish, it was just an awesome, good a little over 3 hours of hardcore racing, and it was fun. It was fun, and you know what? It's fun to watch, and a lot of young people getting into it. And there you go. So they got to do something right. They're number 2 TV ratings. Number 2 right after football. Football's number 1. That's got number 2. It's a known fact. So there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. From the American Podcasting Center in New York, when your host Manny 8. Be good, be safe. This has been the Racing Podcast, RP.